Hey everybody, this is a hand-wired Tweed Deluxe that I wanted to change tubes in. I just wanted to show you how nice it sounds. Awesome, but it's time to change tubes. All right, the first thing you want to do is shut the amp off and unplug it. Remove all the cabling, and we need to access the tube area here. We do that by removing the back panel, and I'll speed up that process. Okay, I have the screws loosened up some. I just wanted to show you what's happening with this. Right now the amp was on, and the tubes are cool enough to remove. However, there's about 450 volts in these capacitors. So to discharge them, use a insulated screwdriver and short the pin 3 on a power tube to the chassis, and you'll hear the speaker pop. Well, there was a pop there. It wasn't very loud, but you know for sure that you've removed the voltage when you hear that pop. And then you can go to the caps as well. You want to do this just in case your hand is in the amp anytime, and you could discharge the caps, and that could be very dangerous and lethal. So you want to do this. Now, you can see the three, there's 2 power tubes and a rectifier tube. They kind of all look the same. They have the same size socket as well. And the sockets have little clips to hold them in. So you want to loosen the clip and pull this tube right out. Okay. Just wiggle the tube out carefully. You don't want to just yank it out this way because you'll break the key. So just wiggle it. Okay. And that's the rectifier tube. The preamp tubes have little shields on them. Same thing. You just pull them straight down by wiggling them. Straight down, wiggling. Okay, and we have all the tubes removed. Okay, so we have some brand new tubes I want to insert into my tube amp. What you need to do is, you can see tubes have the preamp tubes are 9-pin. There's a pin missing, which helps you to locate how to insert them into the socket. They can only go in one way, and it's important that you don't force them because you can break the tube or hurt your amplifier. So, knowing what I know, the sockets are always pointed the same direction, and you have to find the point where the pin is on the socket is missing. That way the tube can only go in one way. So you find that way, you'll feel it where it's a point where it wants to enter the socket very easily. Oh, there it is. And you just push gently up. If it doesn't go in very easily, do not force it, because it's probably not lined up properly and you'll break the tube. Okay, those 2 are in. And we'll put the socket, we'll put the shield over it. There we are. Now, as far as the power tubes and rectifier tubes, they are all 8 pin tubes. It's very easy to mix them up. So be very careful that you are putting the correct tube in the correct socket. So here we have a power tube. There's a keyway, and the keyway on the socket is normally pointing to you to your right. However, that's not always the case. So you have to be careful and know where the slot for the keyway is. Because it's possible to force a tube into a socket, and if you do that, if you power it on, you will ruin the tube or the amplifier or both. So it looks like that was the spot. Now just push it in. There it goes. Okay, another one. Put the key towards where you know it should be on the socket. Line it up. Oh, it goes in. Push it in. Now, here's the rectifier tube. Verify that it actually is a rectifier tube before you put it into the slot for the rectifier. Make sure it lines up and push. Okay. We have installed them, and it's going to be ready to test. Okay, we have the tubes installed, and we're ready to give it a test. At this point, I can plug the amp back in. Be sure not to put your hands anywhere near the chassis or inside the chassis at this point, because you can be electrocuted. Okay, so you can turn the amp on without the standby, and you should see the heaters light up, the tubes light up a little bit, and that's the heater for them. You can plug a guitar in. It looks like we've installed them properly. And we can put the cover back on. Line up the cover with the holes and start the screws. Okay, there you have it. We have the back installed on the amp, and we're ready to play. Turn it on, give it a few seconds to warm up, and then flip the standby, and we're ready to go. Thank you so much.